Hi guys, and welcome to this deep dive special. Today I've joined by a very good friend of mine, Mr. Mark Bennett, to talk about his latest release. Now, this release follows in a theme that has been really popular for both Mark and Matthew Wright, and we're going to talk about more about this sort of latest sort of incarnation of the effect on this video. It's something very special, something I don't think has been done before, but we'll get into all of that. Now, before we start, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You'll be notified every single time we go live on Facebook and YouTube, sorry, YouTube, not Facebook, and it will tell you every time you put a new video up, which is almost every single day. Anyway, without further ado, let's bring in our special guest for today, the legendary Mark Bennett. Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello, buddy. How are you? Thanks for doing this.
Very well.
I really appreciate it.
It's like I haven't stopped speaking to you because you've just been featured on the Desert Island Tricks, and I'm halfway through that.
Yes, I think it's coming out to, well, I'll listen to it because Spotify's the latest one it drops on. So it's really annoying. Right. So when I'm driving into work, it's just like I get it just a little bit and then I have to do it on the drive home afterwards. But yeah, Spotify's just a little bit, the last one to drop, which is a little bit annoying. So I like to go in with the drive and then come back and hear the end of it as well. So it's kind of excited to hear out what the last tricks are. So I hope I wasn't too much of a potty mouth because you know what I'm like.
No, we did put a warning on it at the beginning, but I'll be fair, I'm halfway through and I haven't heard anything yet.
Oh, that's.
But then we haven't.
I've probably upset a lot of people now. They're probably like, "Why is Mark not swearing?"
Well, we haven't hit the amazing card to beaver trick yet. So.
Yeah. That's double entendres. It's double entendres. Double entendres.
But
no, it's brilliant to be honest. It's a fantastic concept. I love Desert Island Tricks. It's brilliant, and it's just, and you start writing down little notes of, oh god, yeah, that'll be good. Oh yeah. It's brilliant. It's really, really good, and people their insights of why and this and the history, just fantastic. So it's a great idea. Well done, guys.
Oh, thank you. It's when I done it, I was sort of the second or third one in. And if you do it properly, which everyone is doing, it isn't as easy as you might think to choose just 8 tricks and the reasonings behind it. That's what, for me, that's what makes the whole thing interesting is people's stories connected with it, why they chose it. It's not just, oh, ambitious card. They've always got an interesting story. Why?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. When I was writing my list, I was like, oh, crumbs. I could put quite a lot of things that I've had throughout my journey. And then you're kind of like, well, no, let's take the ones that have meant a lot to me and all that kind of stuff, really. And obviously, hopefully I explained it enough. And and there is a few products that I've plugged, obviously, but they're in my show. That's what I do.
Yeah,
so why not?
It's about your top 8 tricks. If those top 8 tricks are your creations, so be it. Yeah. And if you look at, I mean, I don't want to talk about this too long. People can have a listen to it. But if you look at Bill Abbott, I think everything in his was a Bill Abbott creation because that's what he performs, which is fair enough.
I loved it. I loved it where he kept mixing. He goes, oh, I'm not going to do the next one because you'll see where the flow goes. And then he went, oh, actually, no, I'll just do the flow of the show.
Yeah.
Really good.
No, really, it's brilliant. So, guys, if you haven't listened to that yet, go check it out on all your favourite podcast platforms. It's called Desert Island Tricks. But we're here to talk about the latest incarnation, actually, not incantation, incarnation of The King's Secret, which was a favourite of mine. I love The King's Secret.
It's been a seller for us since it came out, and it's still going, and it's still going, and still going. And when people see it, they just like, oh my god, that's amazing. I know I get a lot of wedding magicians saying when they're at their stand, they perform this trick that they sign up there and then. For the wedding because it's just such a powerful effect. And obviously with the Noble 52 story of it, of him being a magician and all of this kind of stuff. It's a believable story because even if people Google Prince Charles magician, it comes up. You know, they'll be a bit sad if a spectator does run off and goes and Googles it. You know, it's just not the really massive dumb thing. But the idea and of it mixing in with it, from the Queen's nose to the King's secret, and you know, the dead man's hand as well. Having these little themed stories just really works with a nice card trick, because some people just, oh yeah, take a card, do that, and it's done. But having these little props that people can hold, I think it just really accentuates it even more. Definitely.
Yeah, it really does. I tell you, the amount of people, magicians, that come into the shop, and when they talk about the act, I would say, and I don't think I'm lying or exaggerating, I would say at least 85 to 90% of people mention one of those. Queen's nose, King's secret, dead man's hand. It's such an incredible effect. Obviously, the effect itself is based on an older effect, and but the whole premise to it, the props with it. In fact, I was just saying to you earlier, there's mine. You know, I took these out of my close-up case because this is something that I do. I just carry the coin with me, and you're ready for a really, not only a really great card trick, but the reveal when they've examined the coin and it's changed. It is phenomenal.
It's the thing for me is as well. It's that as I think when we did the deep dive on the King's secret, when I was over in Kent last time, and I was in an Airbnb, and we were discussing that downtime of like, oh no, it's wrong, that's not the card, I'm disappointed. And then when they turn it over, the excitement in that person's face is bigger than you would have if that card had changed. And it just brings them up to that level, and the psychology of it is what I like the most of it. Just, you know, doing an ambitious card routine, but then where does it go? And this really finishes the end of the an ambitious card routine of just like bang. And it's because they've been holding that coin as well and looking at it and examining it, reading the words on the coin of the King's secret of saying hocus corpus meum. You know, it's Latin for hocus pocus, and then they've looked at it, and then it's changed to a playing card in that area. It's just, you know, and they're never in their head are they going to go, oh, it's two coins. Yeah. You just swap the coins. No, they may say it like about six hours later when they're discussing it again, but you've got that moment, and that's the bit. Yeah, the moment.
But then they can't relate that to. It still had their apparent freely chosen card on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing with this type of routine. There's so many little hurdles for your spectator to get across that they might go. It's one of those things where, and I love tricks like this, where they end up cancelling each other out because they go, oh, well, he must have switched coin. Well, no, hang on a minute. That wouldn't have made no difference because I picked any card. And now suddenly it's like, oh, right, yeah, he couldn't, unless he had 52 coins. Yeah, but how could he have 52 coins if it, you know?
It even fools magicians. Even when I was demming at Blackpool, and I'm demming either the Noble One or the King's Secret when people are coming up, and they're like, well, when did you switch it? I don't understand. And I'm like, I did the most boldest switch ever. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
What? And I'm like, honestly, it's, what's nice and what Matthew and I created is something that it's easy to do. There is a little bit of play that you need to do, but the reactions you get for both this one and this one here, when you see the trailer, you know, the reactions they get, there's no way that I was looking at it, I've examined it, it's impossible, you know, and it's you just like standing there going, yay.
yeah. I can't. Do you know what? I haven't seen the trailer yet. I've seen the prop because you showed me it at Blackpool, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I think, shall we take a look at the trailer, then we'll come back and talk about it a bit more?
And obviously, I didn't make the trailer, so because you'll see the quality of it, this is a Matthew Wright. Awesome trailer as usual. So
brilliant.
I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, let's take a look. This is Noble One.
Legend speaks of a time long ago when magic ruled and mortal men lived in peace and harmony. But man, being man, got greedy, and soon war raged across the lands. In a desperate attempt to restore peace, Merlin, the great wizard, traveled to Lake Avalon to convene with Nimue, the Lady of the Lake. And it was here that the noble 52 was born. 52 of the most honorable and noble mortals alive were chosen to serve and protect the land, and had bestowed upon them immeasurable magical powers. To keep them true, a single ring of power was forged. This became known as the Noble One. In one form or another, the secret society of the Noble 52 has survived the ages, and although the legend of the Noble One lives on, most presumed the ring itself had been lost to time. Most. But thankfully, not all.
You know what the most exclusive magic club in the world's called?
Magic Circle?
Everyone says that. It's not. It's actually called the Noble 52. It's 52 of the world's greatest magicians are invited into this special exclusive club. It's been around since the round table at King Arthur and all that, all the way through. 52 of the world's greatest magicians are members of the Noble 52. And once a year they choose one member to be the Noble One.
And every year, on January the 1st, he sends out the ring called the Noble One.
A souvenir ring, a sovereign ring. It's a bit like a Super Bowl ring, something like that.
It's like a commemorative, like a Super Bowl ring, that kind of thing. And this is the Noble One.
So if you hold out your hand for me, pop this on here.
And on here you can see we've got some unicorns, which shows royalty and magic.
Right.
Triangle of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
The royalty of the king in the middle, and the magic circle of the outside.
Down the bottom it says Hoc est corpus deum, which is Latin. It means it is created as it is spoken.
Put it on. Say I do.
I do.
Whoever wears the ring wields the power of the Noble 52. So when you're given the ring, you're also given a rather exclusive set of cards. Look at these. These are built for royalty. So if you wave your hand over and say Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Lift up your hand, turn over the card and have a little look.
Oh my god.
Go on.
Stop. Shut up.
Say the magic words and the card will appear under your hand.
Hocus Pocus.
And I said under your hand.
Wow.
That is so good. I love
How
it.
good is that?
Oh, I love it. And the cards are lovely. They're different to the ones that were released with the King's Secret. They're a different stock, aren't they?
Yeah, they are definitely different stock.
Yeah.
We learnt our lesson. Peter. We learnt our lesson. Yeah, these are, they work brilliantly. Let me just try and get back in the middle. There we go. They're nice. They're on a nice bicycle. Well, not a bicycle stock, but
it's a similar linen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a linen. It's a casino style linen, black core on these cards. You know, they just look phenomenal. You know, it's, you know, a few people have said who did pick up a couple of units up at Blackpool. They're like, oh, I don't really want to use the cards. You know, the box is gold inlaid. You know, there's nothing actually on the box. We decided to go down a route of just a nice plain box that when you bring out the cards, that's what pops straight away instead of having this all ornate. And then when you open it up, it's just, oh, well, it's the same thing. So this really kind of like, you start to open these up and people are like, oh my God, wow. And you get this little nice whammy with it, which is nice.
They're lovely. They're really good. Now, obviously, you can, if you want, just use your own cards. That's not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a bit about the set. What do you get included when you purchase Noble One?
So what you get the presentation box. Something in theory, you know, it's like you would get a, you know, oh, well done, you've been here for 50 years. Here's your watch. So it's like a nice presentation watch.
So
box.
if you were doing a parlour show, you could actually introduce that box as part of the routine.
Yeah, you could easily just use this and say, look, this is the Noble 52 or the Noble 1 gift certificate box. And it just opened it up, and inside is the ring box, and the pack of cards is in there like so. So that's what you receive.
Nice.
That comes up, and then you can close that back up, and you know you're good to go afterwards. But that's what you receive. Even on the box, the ring box as well, as the Noble 52 logo on there as well. The pack of cards, so you can just instantly, you know, get ready for your parlour show, and you're ready to go. When you take out the ring, you know, inside the box is the Noble 52 ring on there. And what Matt and I have done is we don't think it's ever been done before. So, and we did a lot of R&D on this to make sure that this is going to work before we put it out to release. So this has been on the back burner for a while. Almost at the same time as we were releasing the King's Secret, this was already in in R&D.
Well, I'm sure it was when I was filming either you and Matt last year, someone showed me one of the prototypes to this. Yeah. So it's been going on for a while.
A really, really long time. And, you know, it's not to be worn. I know a few people have said, well, no, I'm going to wear it. Okay, fair enough. But it's not supposed to be worn. It's supposed to be as, you know, a presentation ring, and to put it onto the spectator's hand. And, you know, and that's where they hold it, and then you can talk about it, and the, you know, the beauty of the ring, you know, the unicorns, the Illuminati, you know, all the Noble 52 stuff, etc. And then obviously the reveal afterwards is, you know, where it all kicks off in some respects. That's where you want it to be. And it's this beauty of it, of, you know, when you're in this position of where you have that, and then when you come back down and it's then the reveal. Yeah. It's quite strong. It's quite strong. It's really strong. Matt and I, when we were doing it, they sent us the non-enameled ones.
Right.
And
let's have a look at that.
And you can see these on the trailer, but they sent the non-enameled ones, and we went, oh, I actually like them. I like them. And when we were doing the routines and testing out the routines of how we could do these routines, we noticed that they didn't, a bit like the Queen's nose, it didn't instantly pop.
Yeah.
You know, they had to focus in on the coin, and then it popped, and then it was like, oh my god, there's the reveal. And this is kind of you can put that similar process into this if you wanted to. You know, if you wanted to just take that ring out and put in, let's say the because you get 6 reveals, so I'm going to put the 7 in.
That was a question I was going to ask, because I saw it come up on the trailer, and I didn't know whether you were saying you've got a choice of 6 or you get them with it. The fact you get them with it is fantastic.
Yeah. So you get 3. It's 3 card reveals, so it's the same 3 cards, but you can do it with non-enamel, or you can do it with enamel.
Yeah.
So one's going to pop. So that's going to pop, and this one is going to be a slow burn release.
See, I'm with you. I like the pop one, and I think different reveals will work in different places. So if you were working in a nightclub somewhere that's a bit dark, have the one that pops because it's really going to be there. But I think if you go for the non-enameled ones, there's something about it that makes it appear that the cards appear into them as they're watching, as they're looking at the ring.
Yeah, because if you look at that and you've got that position where they're I'm trying to get it to that so it's not too big.
Perfect.
So you're in that position there, and then that reveal.
Yeah.
It's, you know, they're going to have to look. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not. I know your routine covers the fact that they don't turn their hands back over. But if they were to turn their hand over, they would notice nothing because it looks exactly the same sort of thing.
I saw Gary Jones at the Chris Congreve convention, which was fantastic. So if anybody's thinking about going for a little couple of day conventions, go see Chris Congreve's convention next year. Hopefully he puts one on. But Gary Jones was there, and he saw this, and you could see his brain like working and working and working. And he actually went away, came back about 2 hours later, and he goes, "Oh, can I show you something? I don't want to tell you how to suck eggs, Mark. I know you've been doing this, all that kind of stuff." But he just showed us a different move, and I was like, "Jesus, brilliant!" Yeah. And he goes, no, that's what I, because he liked the non-burning one, the non-pop, the non-enameled. And he said, and even if they turn their hand, they're not going to spot it, because you're not going to, you know how ballsy Gary is. He'll keep them busy as it is anyway. But yeah, he said, that's the one I'm going to work on and really push for, which was brilliant, and he instantly started working that this is a worker. And I think also this one here, having it, having it as the non-popped reveal it's nicer, because even as you say, if they do turn their hand over, if it's enameled, it's going to pop straight away, and you can deal with that. But I think in a nice parlor situation, that will come out lovely, because it will just be this: they're sitting next to you, you're doing your story, and as they turn their hand, and they're pointing, and there it is, and then bang, and they have to look down and see that coin. The card has changed, or the card has appeared on the ring. That's the beauty of it, definitely, definitely. And you'll love it. And if you've already followed the journey of the Noble 52 or from the Queen's Nose, etc., you've already got a routine in mind of what you can do. You do get some gimmicks in the cards as well, which we go through. You get double reveals. You get to do a really nice one with Matthew's routine is really, really nice, of making the card vanish and then it coming back from the Lady of the Lake, etc., and all that kind of stuff. And it's really, really nice. And you get my classic handling of the King's Secret as well, which in theory, how these were born all the way through, really, of this classic routine that I've been doing for almost 30 years almost. And I know it works. So, but now you have this even more beautiful prop. And, we make good props. So,
100%.
So, it's a good prop. It looks fantastic. And, once you've removed the gimmick, they're freely to have a look at it and do what they want with it. But at the beginning, advisable, it's a gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great, mate. I mean, I've been a big fan of everything from the Queen's nose up. The one I currently perform, I'm going to get myself one of the noble ones, so I've got an idea for it. The one I currently perform is the Dead Man's Hand coin, because I've got a great story that goes along, well, pretty much your story, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's great. But I'm picking myself up a noble one as well, because I love the idea that it's on their hand. It's really nice, and the whole backstory to it is great.
Well, you could see the lady who was who dropped her glasses down. That was my favourite bit, and it's just like this, she's like this, and she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And you know, it's just, and she wasn't even involved in the trick. That's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? So you can see how it works in a parlour situation for yourselves. That you can have this little bit of a group setting and follow all the bits and bobs that we give you. That you can create this beautiful bit of magic. And as I say, you know, once it's finished, they're freely allowed to examine that ring once it's done. And but yeah, that's the noble one in the line of the noble 52, kind of like moving on in some respects from it, you know. And you know, if somebody ever says, you know, Mark, can you get another card on a coin? I can. It's a smaller one and it goes in a ring.
Yeah.
But I think it's nice that you know, there was at one point we were thinking, you know, you'd have to buy another ring, you know, for another reveal, because, you know, we wanted this to work really, really well. And no, we came up with it that you can walk away, swap it out, take seconds to swap out and put a different reveal in, and you can perform this trick again if you want to. So it takes seconds.
And the great thing is, before we wrap up, I just want to say to people as well, if you own anything like the Queen's Secret or Dead Man's Hand, you can use these in conjunction with each other with two selections. You know, and the coin's supposed to find both, but it only finds one, and then they turn their hand over and their one's on the ring. So you can combine them, and it's so strong and so versatile. Yeah, I love it. I think it's such a great idea. The quality of the prop, you showed me at Blackpool, I got to handle it. Absolutely superb, as everything that you and Matthew put out is. I know the amount of prototypes you guys go through and how you want everything to be perfect. And yeah, this is a credit to you. It's a really good prop, really good. The cards are fantastic. The ring is great. The fact that you put the thought in it to make the reveal interchangeable as well, so they're not just limited to one, I think it's great. It's a great,
thanks, pal.
Great set.
Appreciate it.
Anyone that's interested in that, you can have a look at the link below. It will take you straight to the product on our website. But unless there's anything else you'd like to add, Mark, I think we'll be wrapping this deep dive up.
No, all I can say is, once again, thanks for the support, Peter. I really do appreciate it. We've got obviously something coming up later.
We have.
A little collab, which I'm really, really excited about. So yeah, that one, another organic bit of magic. So that's just between you and myself. That one.
Yeah,
so
we'll
really,
have
really
a proper deep dive on that as well, because it's a bit of magic that you can, like, when people talk about EDCs, this is something, if you're sitting in a cafe or a bar or something like that, this is going to look like real magic.
Well, it could get a bit saucy as well, so we're going to have to be careful, aren't we? So
100%. 100%. Right. So, Mark, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate it.
So, guys, that was the incredible Mark Bennett, and that was Noble 1. Like I said, if you're interested in picking one up or learning more about it, click on the link below and it will take you to the products on our website. It's a great prop. It's a great tutorial video as well. So go check it out. If you like the idea of the effect, you will not be disappointed with what you receive in the pack. Now, before I go, I said this at the beginning, I'll say it again. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you'll be notified every time we put a video up on YouTube, which is almost every single day. Or make sure you don't miss out on anything. If you haven't looked at Alexam Unlimited yet, go check it out on our website. It's the Netflix for magicians, and you get a 7-day free trial and you get access to all areas. So go check that out as well. But for me, Peter Nardi, thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive special with the fantastic Mark Bennett and Noble One. And I will see you on the next deep dive special.